all modales. There's all sorts of repository systems, hundreds of them out there, and Moodle will be able to access them all over time because these are just very small plugins that any developer can write and make Moodle talk to these external repositories. I can show you very quickly the setup for one of these things. You need to have some special code usually. In this case for the Flickr module. On the Flickr website there's a place where you can create an access key, API key, and you save this information in Moodle. And from then on, Moodle can then talk to Flickr directly. It doesn't need to go through the website. It's actually talking to Moodle, to Flickr, and it's asking it for pictures. And all of the plugins will have sort of similar setup procedures to this, and you connect it to your own repository in a secure way. So this is for accessing private repositories as well as public repositories that are out there. So, and while I'm here, I may as well just look at the portfolios. It's a very, very similar process. Portfolios are systems that you want to send things to, where you want to push data from Moodle. Maybe it's a forum post or an assignment. You want to push it to your own personal portfolio, where you then keep those files, manage those files, combine those files and make some sort of a resume or a stream of information for an employer or your parents or something. Teachers also would use a portfolio to collect examples of their teaching practice, and they could use that for promotions and government requirements and things like that. So in a very similar way, you connect up systems, and we again support Flickr and Boxnet right now, and there are more modules being written, more plugins. But a really important one, I think, is Mahara. And Mahara is a great portfolio system out of New Zealand by friends of ours. We're sort of very close to the Moodle and Mahara projects. And Mahara is very good at managing. One of the aims we've got here is to make it very true. There's also My Stuff from Open University, and there are Elm and other portfolio systems out there that you'll be able to connect to. So let me give you a quick demonstration of how this looks. Go back into a course. I'll go to this random course here. This course was generated randomly. We have a script that creates new courses now with lots of activities and students and forum posts and everything. It does create a lot of data very easily, but the course design is not so great. So you're not going to really get a good course out of this. This is what we use for testing and so on. So let me go to a forum. And say I'm going to add a new post to a forum. So, subject. One of the things you will notice in this post already is there's a new editor. Moodle 2 has a new HTML editor. It produces better HTML. It's also resizable. And it just has a lot of other features. It's faster. It's just much nicer than the old editor. So we have this good editor. So you're typing away, and at this point I want to put a picture into my post. So we click on the new picture button. And it looks sort of similar to how it did before. Oops, sorry, I made this very small so I didn't make it big. Now, I can type in a URL here if I know the URL, but it's quite difficult. But we can now browse for files. And we do this using the new repository picker. And this is designed to look very similar to the open dialog on your desktop machine. So when you go open in an application and you browse through your hard disks, then this is very similar. In this case, we're browsing through repositories that are connected. So let me click on Flickr. Now, with the basic Flickr plugin, there's different settings you can set. For this one, I can say I want to access all the pictures from Martin at Moodle.com on the Flickr website. And Moodle has gone to Flickr and got all the listing of the files that are on that website. And I can view them as icons. Well, when we do that, we now see all these pictures sitting in my account on the website. I've got some photos here. I was recently in China and I've got some Chinese photographs. So let's just pick a photo, any of them. I can rename this picture if I want and say select. At this point, that picture is now being copied from Flickr to Moodle. And you can see there's the picture, quite big. Inside my editor, I can give it other descriptions. We can change the size, all these things, and insert it into the post. And so it's very easy for me to grab content from the web and get it into Moodle as part of the content. This picture is inside Moodle now. There's a copy of it. And we did that so that now it can be controlled. If this forum is only available to a couple of people, students in the class, then this picture should also only be available to those people who are in the class. And when we bring them into Moodle, we have control over what can be accessed. Now, this process works everywhere. Everywhere we use files in Moodle will be exactly the same. So I'm adding an attachment to this post as well. So as well as a picture inside the actual text, I'm adding an attachment. It's very much the same. There's a choose button. We get the file picker. We can choose one of the pre-configured repositories, or we can even upload a brand new file from our desktop. And at the end, after you've picked a file, you just say select it. And the file is copied into Moodle, attached to the forum or the assignment or wherever it was. Post it. And I've made my post. I had two pictures there. I had one inside the text, and I've got one which is attached, which Moodle shows on the bottom as well. So there's a picture there. This is all working quite well, and most of that is finished tomorrow at the Moodle developer meeting. I think we'll be publishing the APIs for people to start writing more plugins, and we'll be writing more plugins. And I think by the time Moodle 2 is released, we'll probably have maybe 15 plugins for accessing different types of systems. And it'll be very easy to bring content into Moodle. Okay. So what about the other way? What about the portfolios? How do they work? Well, let's just say we had this very same post, probably. It's not a very post with giant images attached to it. So let me just make some stuff here. 300 words per minute, 0% accuracy, and I've got my text. So it's a completely normal discussion post. Now, say this text was really great and I really wanted to keep this text. I wanted to save this text to my portfolio. You'll notice now there's these new save buttons. And these are now everywhere throughout Moodle as well. And if you